just get paid for the vision, but they wanna pay me and change in the whip because material things we've been victims of. I try to tell you the truth, they want me silent, inside it's so difficult. Reside where I'm the original, can't fuck with no vibe that's traditional. How can you hide behind pride? All of that pride just leads you to lies. Open your eyes, please realize, yo. You could be asleep when you die, yo. It's still a seat in the ride, bro. If you tryna see what we drive for, fame ain't something we strive for, and money is nothing to die for. But you in the scope it is right for, and I need my folks to get by. That's on my mind.
The world's most dangerous podcast. We back.
Dope dealers.
You know what it is. It's your man Jamal Doman.
Tobe Hixx.
What's up with it, homie?
Chilling, man. How you doing, man?
Episode 9.
Yeah, glad to be here. We making progress.
Episode 9, fine as wine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We back, man. Listen, man, let's get right into it. First thing, want to thank all our listeners, man. Our numbers are growing. We appreciate all our new listeners, man. We got a lot of cats came from Felipe's. We did Felipe's.
Yes.
What
Shout
a
out
Fool
to the
podcast, and a lot of his followers came over to us. So welcome to all the new followers, man. Please spread the word, man.
Yeah, tell a friend.
Tell a friend who's going to tell a friend. That's how we do it, man.
And tell them what a podcast really is, because a lot of people still don't even know what a podcast is, you know.
They don't know what
podcast. What is that?
Yeah, I get that a lot too, man.
I had to try to explain it to my 97-year-old grandmother.
Oh, my God. How long did that take?
Few minutes. I told her, I said, Grandma, it's like I got my own radio station. And I'm on air when I want to be on air.
Yeah. Has she listened to any of them, or she?
Oh no, she
don't have the access.
All this cussing. Yeah, plus she ain't got no iPhone. She 97. Shit.
Any family members listen to it?
Yeah, they listen.
Some of the younger ones.
Yeah. My uncles don't even know that podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck is a podcast?
Yeah, my cousin Jasmine, she wants to start her own. She got a couple homegirls, man. They say they've been talking about starting their own. They do hair, so I said there's not a lot of black women podcasts out there, so y'all should, put it together.
Older people don't like to listen to shit like this because they used to have to listen to everything on radio. So
exactly.
Now they like, shit, I'm watching that shit. If I can't see it, fuck y'all. I want to see your face.
How I used to listen to Nat King Cole.
Yeah, they make them feel like they listening to the Cubs game on the radio back in the days and shit, my grandfather.
The Dodgers win the pennant. The Dodgers win the pennant. Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck happened.
So let's get down to it, man. The dope story of the week, man. I don't know why it's always happening in my hometown. I don't know what it is about Philly.
Yeah.
That it's always happening in my hometown, man.
Bullshit always going down.
And yeah, so if you've been living under a rock, I guess what happened in Philly, 18th and Spruce, and that's downtown Philly, so that's nice. It ain't,
that's
Starbucks
why it happened.
Yeah, Starbucks ain't in no hoods anyway like that.
That's why it happened.
So I guess 2 young black men came into a Starbucks, and I from what I understand, they actually used the bathroom, and then they just sat.
First they were just sitting down.
Oh, okay.
And then
because they were waiting on somebody.
Yeah, they was waiting.
Unbeknownst to the staff of
sitting
Starbucks.
down, chilling like millions of people do across the country at every Starbucks, no matter where you go, is people chilling. So this is not out the ordinary.
Yeah, we've all chilled at Starbucks.
Oh, I've spent 8 hours in Starbucks. Mm-hmm. Shit. With 2 cups of coffee. Mm-hmm. And you do the math. I didn't make them that much money, but yeah, so they were sitting there and then they asked them, and I've never been in a Starbucks where they come up and harass you about buying drinks like it's the comedy club, like it was a 2 coffee minimum. Right. I've never seen that shit before, and I've been in a lot of Starbucks across the world.
So they were sitting in there, and I guess they were asked to leave for who,
They said, no, we waiting on our friend. They was waiting on our friend. They was like, we're going to get some coffee when our friend gets here. They
just relieved the 911 call, and the employee, who most people believe is the manager, she says, I have 2 gentlemen in my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave. I'm at the Starbucks at 18th and Spruce. So this set in motion, cops came. The cops asked the guys to leave. The guys are like, well, what we have to leave for? Like, we're not doing anything. Cops saying, well, listen, they told us we got a call.
It's trespassing. They called it trespassing.
And they got arrested. The guys refused to leave, so the cops put them in handcuffs. As they was leaving, their friend who turned out a white young man, who was coming, who they were waiting for, he showed up as they got him in handcuffs. Yeah. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are y'all doing? Are we arresting them? What are you arresting them for? Like, Well, they was asked to leave. What were they asked to leave for? They were here waiting for me. We had a meeting. So
they didn't expect him to have a wife friend.
yeah. So all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose after that. Yeah. Can you hear something? I'd heard something. Yeah. I don't know what that was. So all hell broke loose after that. So it was a big uproar. Boycotts called of Starbucks. The Starbucks CEO flew into Philadelphia and met with two young men. First, he apologized. They put out a statement. He apologized. Starbucks apologized. He met with the two young men. I don't know what else is. No charges were. First thing, the two young men.
They took them down and let them out. You know,
they got out like 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's just traumatizing, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
these obviously were, for lack of a better term, these were squares. These wasn't no street cats and that. So to go to jail, I mean, there's some shit they'll never forget this shit, man.
Yeah, so it's so. I mean, so the
people go to Starbucks. I mean, if this is a restaurant or something, and you just go in there, sit down, and they, need a table because they're serving food,
exactly.
These types of things. But this is a coffee shop where people go to and stay all day. I mean, you see people setting up laptops. I've seen a motherfucker order a pizza at Starbucks before. I swear to you.
I've sat in Starbucks and ordered nothing. Just been on my laptop.
Oh, well, that is kind of ridiculous.
Well, this is North Hollywood, but ain't nobody. The lady who posted the video that started everything, her name is Melissa DePino. She, this was on her Twitter. She said, ever since I posted this, I've had white strangers and friends say there must be something more to this story. That assumption is a big part of the problem. It does happen all the time, just not to you and me. Believe it and speak up. So a lot of people coming up to her like, it's got to be more to this story. She's saying that's part of the problem.
Man. Yeah, that is part of the problem because they don't understand. Every day we got to walk out with dark skin and that shit. We encounter shit like this every day.
Another tweet said, I'm sorry for anyone who watches this video and it fucks with their anxiety. There's no violence or death, just yet another caught-on-tape moment of black bodies being criminalized simply for being black, and I'm getting so fucking tired of it. Jamel Hill from ESPN, she hashtag
Starbucks.
She hashtag here's what they think about you. The famous Ice Cube quote. Bakari Sellers from CNN, he had Starbucking while black. It's a thing now. Anna Navarro said some people think there's no such thing as racial profiling. That is made up or an exaggeration. It's not. This is the type of thing that still happens in America. People get arrested for doing nothing. But people get arrested for doing nothing but being black and being Hispanics. Starbucks, you got some explaining to do. Wanda Sykes, what the fuck? Problem. Blacks, especially black men, are perceived as a menace. These men weren't in a bank lobby waiting for a friend. They were in a damn Starbucks, the meetup spot in America.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's known for that. I mean, everybody meets there. People on, on social media meeting people, like, first dates, all eHarmony dates, all type of shit goes on. Everything meets at Starbucks, no matter what athletes meet at, no matter what you do. You tell a motherfucker, meet me at Starbucks. Meet me at Starbucks, man, and let's work on these jokes. Meet me at Starbucks and shit, we'll smoke a blunt in the parking lot and, write this script. I mean, whatever, everything's done at Starbucks.
Right. So the main thing, from the beginning, I didn't really have a problem with Starbucks, the corporation. I didn't even have a problem with the Philadelphia police.
No.
Philadelphia police, some people have a problem with it. They were called. They were told by Starbucks, we want them two guys out of there. They have to do what they have to do. I didn't even have a problem. A lot of people jumped on Starbucks at the beginning. I say, no, let Starbucks do their investigation. My issue was whoever called the cops need to be disciplined or fired. Need to be disciplined or fired. Starbucks, from what I've heard, the manager has left the store. I don't know if she's been disciplined or fired, but they said she's not there anymore. But Starbucks have jumped on it. The CEO flew to the CEO named Kevin Johnson. When I saw Kevin Johnson, I was like, they got a black CEO?
No, but actually play for the Sun.
He's actually
Mayor of Sacramento now. Damn.
And now Starbucks today said they will close the stores on May 29th to offer training to over 175,000 employees. So they're going to close 8,000 stores for one day to conduct anti-bias
They don't even
training.
have to close the store. Just send an email. Just say, don't fuck with these niggas no more.
No, they ain't playing around.
Leave them alone. That's all they got to do. Just send an email.
Kevin Johnson, the chief executive, said, I spent the last few days in Philadelphia with my leadership team, listening to the community, learning what we did wrong and the steps we need to take to fix it. Starbucks is they on it. They on it. Starbucks has always been one of them companies that always kind of did it the right way.
Because they hire all different races when you go in there, they were always, sexuality, they don't, gays, lesbians, transgender, they hire them all, So, a lot of people saying boycott and don't get no coffee, but that's kind of tough though, because that's just one incident, even though it's a fucked up one. But, that don't mean everybody at Starbucks is racist.
And what I still kind of want the manager fired or heavily disciplined.
I think she.
Well, they said she left the store, but that could be she got transferred or something like that. And also, I would like to know, what was it about these two black men that spooked you so much?
Yeah,
because somehow they spooked her. And you're not in the hood. You're 18th and Spruce. You're downtown. Cops everywhere. I know that area. I would like to know.
I wonder what Magic Johnson has to say, since he used to own some Starbucks.
Right, he sold all.
No, he sold his, but I just said I wonder what his viewpoint on this is.
Yeah. I don't. That's a good. I'm gonna look him up. But here's the Starbucks apology. We apologize to the two individuals and our customers and are disappointed this led to an arrest. We take these matters seriously and clearly have more work to do when it comes to how we handle incidents in our stores. We are reviewing our policies and we will continue to engage with the community and the police department to try to ensure these type of situations never happen in any of our stores. So, some people didn't accept the apology.
Well, damn. What else can the man do though?
Well, what he did was on May 29th, they're going to close all their stores.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which is actually a month from now. People are going to forget. But they, But the CEO has been on every station, so he's doing a good job. This is good, for other companies to learn. What is the
brothers who got arrested?
Yeah, nobody has yet interviewed them. I'm sure they will be. I
wonder what they got to say about this.
You think a lawsuit?
Hell yeah, I wouldn't even think. Shit.
You think you think that's a lawsuit?
Hey, I wouldn't. No. I don't even think it's a lawsuit. I think Mr. Kevin Johnson will settle out of court. There's not gonna be a lawsuit. Yeah, man. You just got to pay. Yeah, give me mines, man. I'm starting my business and shit. I'll get me some Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Hey,
shit.
Dunkin' Donuts is moving.
Oh, they happy right now. That's the happiest Dunkin' Donuts, Yum Yum Donuts. Them motherfuckers happy. They like, yeah, Starbucks fucking up.
Hey, listen, man. Somebody put a meme, racial bias training in Starbucks. And it's the scene from The Office where he got Martin Luther King Jr. flashcard on. That's funny. That's hilarious. All right, so it's a sad situation.
I love Starbucks coffee. I can't even front.
Yeah, I was a little pissed. I was definitely pissed when I first heard the story. I was pissed the fuck off, and I had a lot of things to say. And I'm thinking, I was thought, when that podcast, I'm really going. But I do, over the last couple of days, I do love how Starbucks has approached this. So I'm not super, super pissed now, but I do still kind of want that manager discipline. And I want him just to go ahead and handle this, pay them brothers off so we can get back to drinking Starbucks, because I actually do like the shit. And you can tell the difference between Starbucks coffee and other coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, I can tell the difference. I don't know, they shit's just better. So shit. So somebody said, so you are aware Starbucks was on a decent track until they enlisted the Anti-Defamation League to build their anti-bias training.
That's too much. That's too many big words for me. I smoke weed.
We're gonna get more to that.
Words.
Some people are criticizing who they
shit.
But listen, this is why we need more, black and brown businesses. This is just one of them examples. But hopefully this is a teachable moment. To them brothers, man, we love you. To them two brothers that happened to, man, Dope Dealer Podcast. We got love for you guys, man, and nothing but love for you guys, man. And please, keep fighting a good fight. If you want to come on the Dope Dealer Podcast,
get in their pocket.
Make
them pay for this.
They gonna get some money.
Y'all don't even need a lawyer. You don't have to pay him. Shit.
Yeah,
just tell him to get the bag.
All right, Anna Navarro, she put the arrest of the two men in Philly was awful. Many of us rightly criticize Starbucks, but Starbucks and the CEO are acting responsibly now. They deserve credit for apologizing, taking firm and serious action to address the problem and ensure it won't happen again.
Yeah, there's nothing else they can do.
Yeah, so other than pay them brothers, I'm sure the CEO already told them. And it's good that he flew there and met with them. A lot of CEOs wouldn't even, you know what I mean?
He trying to keep that paper down.
Hey, man, listen.
Shit, let me get over this before it costs too much more. Can't do this shit from the house.
So, yeah. So, we'll talk about that, man. More as any situation, any new topics about that situation come up, we're going to talk about it. But let's get into, I forgot to talk about this from the beginning. I should have prepped y'all. We are doing our first Dope Dealer Podcast annual NFL mock draft, man.
Yeah, let's lighten up the mood.
Yeah, let's lighten up the mood,
all
man.
Fired up.
We are doing our mock draft, man. So listen, we have a special guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, what's good, world? My name is Joey Eberlein, and I'm a resident of Valley Village, California.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, Jamal and Toby. What's good, guys?
And what's your sports background? Tell them what you got a sports background, man.
So the truth about my sports background is I know a lot about them, but nowhere near good enough to play any of them.
Yeah.
Broadcasted 1 year at Fullerton Community College, did radio play-by-play and color commentary for the Fullerton College Hornets, actually producing a script about that. We'll get to that later, I'm sure. But big fan of the game. I run into more pro athletes in public than anybody else.
Yeah, I follow you. I follow you. You be at the summer league. You be all over the place, man.
Oh yeah, I get around. Tiger Woods ain't got nothing on me when it comes to that. He's got it on me when it comes to the ladies, though. We don't know that.
Yeah, he got around.
But like you said, you saw me at the 2017 NBA Summer League.
Yeah.
I plan on being back there this coming summer.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Markel folks will find a shot at this one.
Hey, you know what? City of Brotherly Love. That's a brighter spot in the City of Brotherly Love right now. We'll talk about that another day, I'm sure.
We're actually going to do the NBA year-end awards coming up, too. The NBA year-end awards. We're going to pick our MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, all that stuff. We're going to talk about it. You want to come back for that? Or you familiar with the NBA?
I'm more than interested in. Bless you, Toby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, back to, the NFL.
NFL, that's your expertise. Now, you actually do a mock draft. Don't you kind of do one?
Every year, I love to do a first-round NFL mock draft. I've done my first one in 2009.
Yeah.
Just looked back at it today for kicks. I think I maybe got 6 out of the first 32 picks right.
Who was the first pick in that draft? Was that Jamarcus Russell?
Matthew Stafford was 2009.
Okay.
Number 1 in 2007. That was Jamarcus Russell's year.
Oh God.
Yeah, Jamarcus just want to fuck up Toby's evening. Speaking of Jamarcus, so much talent and such a waste. Now this draft is real interesting, man. What is your take, Joey, on this 2018 draft, man?
I mean, it's the year of the quarterback. It's highlighted by 4 quarterbacks. Expected to go in this order or close to it: Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and Baker Mayfield. But this first round, I believe, will break the record for the most trades in the first round of an NFL draft.
So you think it's going to be a lot of wheeling and dealing in this?
Wow. You're not what the record is?
Yes, it was 8 in the 2012 draft. That was the year Andrew Luck went number 1 and RG3 went number 2 because the Redskins traded up to get him with us. At the time, St. Louis Rams.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of willing and dealing. This draft it's heavy on quarterbacks. What is another position that's heavy on the first round?
Linebacker, which tends to be one of the safer picks in the draft on a year-in, year-out basis. Pass rusher is not very strong, and that is something I do plan on touch on when we get through the picks that we're all projecting collectively between the 3 of us.
Okay.
Running back, not so much. There is a highly touted running back prospect we'll touch on, but besides him, the drop-off is, mid to late first round for the next one to go off the board. But defensive backs. Corners and safeties today. It's rich with that.
It's rich in corner and safety.
With that, yeah.
Wow.
Well, listen, let's get right into it, man. So if you're out there, what we're going to do is we're going to each each have certain teams that we're going to select for. We're also going to select for our favorite team. As you guys know, I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I will be selecting for the Eagles.
Raider Nation.
Toby will be selecting for the Raiders, and
New York Giants.
You would be selecting. So we're going to do multiple teams, but we're definitely.
We already won the draft. The Raiders did. Shit, we got Chucky back.
Okay.
Shit.
We
already won the draft.
We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it, man. So listen. So yeah, we're going to each take a turn. We're going to spend maybe about 2 minutes talking about our picks and why we did it, and little banter back and forth, and we're going to move in groups. So let's start it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dope Dealer Pod 2018 mock NFL draft begins. On the clock with the first pick in the draft is the Cleveland Browns and Toby Hixx. The floor is all yours.
Man. Whew. Cleveland, man, they ain't had no luck in so motherfucking long.
Passed on Carson Wentz. Passed on Deshaun Watson.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, they need...
Drafted Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
When he said himself they didn't do their homework.
Yeah.
He said if they'd have done their homework, they'd have known I wasn't shit.
But it's a whole new regime in there now.
They do got some football minds in there now.
Still Hugh Jackson is back. Didn't win a game last year.
They won one.
Oh, they won. No, they won.
Oh, they didn't win. They won 0.
Yeah, they won 0.
He ain't won but 1 in 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Hugh, man. Hugh was a decent coach. I actually thought my Raiders fired him too soon. I actually believe that shit. But boy. You got to give him a little more time because this shit ain't been his fault. But with all that being said, obviously when you don't win a motherfucking game, you have a lot of issues and a lot of things you need to address. But fortunate for Cleveland is that they do have multiple picks in the first round.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm.
So it
in the top 5, not just the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
5.
Yeah, 2 in the top 5.
Because and last year they had like 3, so they've been kind of building up. Last year they took Myles Jarrett, which most people say was a good pick. So they got some young players. They got a lot of picks. So
and I don't know. I don't recall. Has there ever been a team that had 2 picks in the top 5?
Yeah. I remember
that one. I couldn't answer for you. This is the first of my lifetime.
Indianapolis Colts had the first and I think the second pick back in. I'm gonna do it was either 90 or 91. I'm gonna look that up.
Dickerson?
No, they took I think it was the Jeff George draft. Hold on for 1 second. I'll find it. But go ahead and make your pick, man.
Yeah. Well, with them having a lot of needs, man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and shock the world. I mean, I would have to choose number 1, Saquon Barkley.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You want to take him at number 1?
I'm going to take him at number 1.
You're just going to fuck up all our draft boards right here.
I'm going to take him at number 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Because since we got...
then you're not going to get a quarter? You're not
they got the 4th pick.
Okay.
Got the 4th pick. There's a good chance he wouldn't be there.
So
got to take him number 1.
So your thing is to take the best player in the draft.
Exactly, the best all around player. I
would too.
He's the next. He's the next Le'Veon Bell. Who can receive and rush out the backfield. I got to go with him.
Well, Maurice Jones-Drew, he agreed with you. He had him going number 1. So
hell, we got Tyrod Taylor. We got a decent quarterback who can hold the fort down. Yeah. Shit, got to get that running back.
All right, that's all right. So the number 2 pick on the board is the New York Giants. Joey, take it from there.
All righty. So if I'm the GM of the New York Giants, I'd be throwing my clipboard on the table since Toby took the guy I was hoping we would take at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Look, usually with a high pick like that, you do take a franchise quarterback, but our new general manager, Dave Gettleman, has made it very clear when you're selecting a guy at number 2, it's someone you expect to be wearing a gold jacket in Canton when it's all said and done.
That's true.
I don't think the Giants are sold on any of the quarterbacks, but they brought in one of the hot prospects recently to visit the facility, made a very strong impression, came in with a very professional attitude, dressed up in a suit and tie, and that is defensive end from North Carolina State, Bradley Chubb, number 2 to the New York Giants.
Okay, I can see that. He's the top rated pass rusher in the draft. He's everybody's in love with him. And I can see the Giants taking him, and it brings back that OC, that Jason Pierre-Paul
and Strahan combo,
Strahan,
and then later JPP.
Because JPP, but y'all traded JPP. Is he still there?
Yes, we did. Now we traded him, and when he to Tampa Bay is correct. We did get another draft pick for it. He led our team with 8.5 sacks last year. That's how bad our pass rush was, but that move wasn't so much a rebuilding move. It was one of those where we got to get his numbers off the books for the next year and the following year because we're trying to pay Landon Collins and Odell Beckham Jr. long term.
Yeah, let's talk about Odell Beckham just real quick. So you think they're going to keep him?
Oh, yeah, we're going to keep him. It's something I was back and forth on for a little while, but for a guy who was supposedly holding out, he showed up to the first day of voluntary workouts. So if the guy doesn't want to be a New York Giant, he's going to let it be known. That's going to be his first move right there. Mm-hmm. But we're keeping him. He's never been arrested. There hasn't been any like real serious off the field issue. There's probably some more details to come about the Instagram video.
The cocaine was on the table.
We don't know if that was him. We don't know if that
And
was
that's
him.
the thing.
We don't know if that was cocaine. That could have been sugar all
We also
lined
don't
up on the
believe.
table.
We also don't know if he did it or not, and there's growing belief that he did not.
That wasn't no blunt in his hand.
He does drug tests. I mean,
That wasn't no blunt in his hand.
All right, so number 2, Bradley Chubb to the New York Giants. All right, so I'm on the clock with the other team out of New York, the New York Jets, and this is it's cool because I guess we get our choice of quarterbacks because obviously we know the Jets have moved up this pick. This was actually the Colts pick that Jets traded with them, obviously to get a quarterback. It's what quarterback do they like? I think it was this draft. They thought Cleveland was taking a quarterback, so this kind of fucked them up with Cleveland taking Saquon Barkley. But they still have their choice of quarterbacks. I'm hearing that the Jets are in love with Baker Mayfield. I'm hearing they really, really like him. But I think the Jets thought that Cleveland was taking Sam Darnold at the number 1 pick. Since Cleveland took Saquon Barkley, I'm going to have the Jets select, with the 3rd pick in the draft, the New York Jets select Sam Darnold, quarterback out of USC. Sam Darnold. Tom Arnold's cousin.
Hey,
So
I mean, he don't play D. May as well drop the D in his name.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna have him go to. I just think that coming out of USC, he can deal with that New York market. He can deal with the media. To me, he's the most ready to go. I think Josh Rosen is the most polished, but Josh Rosen has a personality issues that I don't know if it's going to mix with that New York media. You got to be able to deal with that New York media. So that's my pick with the New York Jets. So now we at the 4th pick in the draft, and that's if I'm correct, that is Cleveland back on the clock. Who has Cleveland?
I got Cleveland. Well, shit. I'm going to shock the world again. This is going to be a real shocker, but we didn't take a quarterback with the 1st pick. I didn't take, took the running back and gonna shock the world. I'm gonna select Lamar Jackson.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not happening. Though it probably should.
Whoa.
But I don't think it will.
Whoa.
That's how Tobe Hixx would go with it. I would have to go with him, man. I do not understand what these people are talking about, what they have seen over these years. I've watched this kid. This kid has been impressive in every state. He's grown.
Woo.
I watch Jim Polian say this stupid shit about his size or whatever when he's bigger than other motherfuckers.
He's 6'2", 220.
Yeah, Bill Polian just blew me away with that. I'm going with Lamar Jackson and his mama.
He's a good kid, too. Very respectful.
Joey, what's your take on Lamar Jackson?
I like him a lot. 2016 Heisman Trophy winner for the Louisville Cardinals. Great athlete. Everyone said that Deshaun Watson, wasn't going to pan out the next level before his injury. The guy showed he was going to pan out.
See, that's why, and that's why they got Tyrod Taylor to get that type of offense started. You got him to get it started, and you got Lamar to come right in and keep that thing going and take it to the next level.
I totally forgot about Tyrod Taylor being there, very similar style quarterback. That is a brilliant point on your part right there, Toby. But Lamar Jackson, though, he'll be the type like Tyrod, like Deshaun Watson. Another guy who gets lost is Vince Young, who could not only beat you in the air, but he'll be able to beat you on his feet too. Yeah. And if Vince Young had gone into a better situation in 2006 when Tennessee drafted him, that guy was on the verge of something
Jeff
special.
Fisher's a quarterback killer.
Shit. Yes, he is.
I mean, and even Michael Vick himself said that Lamar Jackson was a better version of him.
Yeah.
More high praise right there from somebody who we should listen to when it comes to evaluation of a mobile quarterback. Because Michael Vick, he transcended the position from that standpoint.
That is true.
All right, so I got an answer to your question. I told you it was. I had the year wrong. It was the 1992 draft. Indianapolis Colts had the number 1 and number 2 pick.
Damn.
Number 1 pick, they took Steve Entman. Remember him?
I remember him.
I remember him in the Little Giants.
And Quentin Coriat, the linebacker out of Texas A&M, and none of them worked out. And that also,
Edmund, he had a decent career.
Yeah, he was all right.
He was no scrub.
No, he had a decent career.
Not going to the Hall of Fame, but he was solid.
In that first round, they missed out on Desmond Howard, Sean Gilbert, Terrell Buckley, Troy Vincent, Bob Whitfield, Leon Sergi, he was all right. Chester McLaughlin, I remember him.
Big dude, right?
Alonzo Spellman. Robert Jones won some Super Bowls with the Cowboys. So yeah, that didn't end out well for. All right, so who up number 5 pick, the Denver Broncos? Is that you, Joey?
Oh, yes, it's me. And if John Elway were in my shoes right now, he'd be popping bottles in his draft room. I know they brought in Case Keenum on a 2-year deal. Let's be clear, though. At his introductory press conference, he introduced him as Case Keesum.
Yeah,
he
Didn't even get the name
this
right.
Man $40 million and you fuck up his name.
When you look at who's in charge, though, whether it's the front office, the regime that's kind of calling the shots, it's definitely the front office more than it is the coaching staff. John Elway is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
What's he going to want to do? He's going to want to groom a future Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
So right now, all signs are pointing toward the Denver Broncos will select Josh Allen, quarterback from the University of Wyoming.
Now, he has drafted a couple quarterbacks before that didn't work out. So
That's
hopefully
right.
this
Paxton Lynch is one that they traded up in the first round to take him in 2016 out of Memphis, I want to say, right off the top of my head.
He ain't done shit.
That's another thing about Elway is he going to put his ego aside and succumb that he guessed wrong on a quarterback just 2 years ago? That the Paxton Lynch experiment is something he's just going to give up on?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen, to me, you see the body type, you see the physical tools similar to that of what we saw from John Elway.
I don't know though, but the accuracy is horrible.
Yeah, he has accuracy issues.
But he can, which is something that with the right coaching, that can be improved.
And he is used to the cold weather. You got to give him that. That's a helpful thing.
That is another valid point on your part right there, Toby. But Josh Allen, I honestly don't understand why the scouts seem to be so smitten with him. But the fact of the matter is, the Broncos are. If the draft were to pan out this way, Josh Allen's going number 5.
Let me just ask you. I know Joey, Toby threw a wrench in your plan with the Saquon Barkley. Where did you have Saquon Barkley going in your draft?
In my draft.
In your draft.
I had him going number 2 to my New York Giants.
Okay, so he threw. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So that's number 6 pick. Indianapolis Colts are up on the clock. Colts are in an interesting situation because all it comes down to Andrew Luck. Is he going to come back, the old Andrew Luck, or a shell of himself? But to me, I think the Colts have so much invested in him that they just have to do the best and protect him. That's the main thing, because when he was playing, they almost got him fucking killed because they had no offensive line. So to me, they have to make sure he's protected if you're going to have him come back. And to me, the best offensive lineman in the draft comes from Notre Dame. With the number 6 pick in the draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson, 6'5", 330 out of Notre Dame, 22 years old. They say you can plug him in at guard and leave him there for the next 10 years. They say that's how good he is.
Oh, that guy, if you watch the game film on him or if you watched him play in Notre Dame, this guy, he made these defensive linemen look like little boys trying to go up against him. The dude is special.
Yeah.
And that's somebody, who probably is a top 3 talent in this draft.
Yes.
But they say the guard or the offensive guard value isn't worthy of a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. Look, if this guy may transcend the offensive guard position to where if he lives up to his hype, he benched 225 35 times at the combine, by the way.
Ooh, man.
If he transcends the position, this may have GMs thinking differently going forward and maybe taking a guy not just, in the top 5, maybe even number 1 overall.
Yeah, so we may see a guard go number 1 in the future, man. Hopefully that'll be something because offensive tackles will win number 1. So, all right, on the clock, Toby, take it away.
Ooh, Tampa Bay, huh? Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They need some defensive help.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if you need some defensive help, no better place to look than the University of Alabama. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
excellent pick right there.
Yeah, they need he's the top cornerback in the draft. And Tampa Bay has secondary issues big time. So to me, Tampa Bay would be ecstatic if he drops to them.
Yes.
Vernon Hargraves, who they took 11th overall in the 2016 draft, needs some help opposite him. I know they re-signed Brent Grimes for one season, but, look, that's just insurance for the time being. There's a chance a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick is not available at number 7. I think he will be. And if he's not, like I said, this talent's rich in secondary help. He also has the versatility to be able to play safety, too.
Exactly.
Corner and safety, that brings me back to the 2005 draft. The Arizona Cardinals took a guy out of the University of Miami, or the U, as they say, Antrell Roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
This guy reminds me a lot of him and his game that we saw for 11 years.
Yeah, and they said Minkah can also play safety. Some people project him as safety, like Antrell Roll went to safety.
That's right.
So, yeah. All right, so number 8 pick in the draft is on you,
Man,
Joey.
I mean, let me tell you.
Chicago Bears.
Right now, well, the Chicago Bears, they should be ecstatic. The fans are excited about what they're starting to build on offense. They added Allen Robinson at wide receiver right there to help out their new quarterback they took last year, Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky.
The guy they wanted, Quentin Nelson, is off the board right now, and wouldn't be surprised to see a team like the Bears maybe trade up to draft him. But defense, Vic Fangio, he was the defensive coordinator in San Francisco earlier part of this decade when he had a juggernaut of a defense right there. He's going to want a Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman type of linebacker who can get to the quarterback, but also can go sideline to sideline. I'm going with Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker from Virginia Tech, number 8 overall.
I like him.
And that Bears defense, there was another cornerback I'm not going to mention because I'll save him for the two of y'all. If they pair up a cornerback opposite Kyle Fuller, and insurance for an always injury-prone Prince Amukamara, who they've guaranteed a lot of money over the next 3 years. But I'll tell you, though, this guy, Tremaine Edmonds, look out.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, well, that was the number 8 pick, Chicago Bears. Now we go to the number 9 pick, the San Francisco 49ers. Well, San Fran looked like they found their quarterback, and they gave him a lot of money, so they're very happy with that. To me, it looks like now, last year they went defensive end in the draft. To me, it's about getting him some weapons now, getting him some weapons, and I'm going to have them. I had Minkah Fitzpatrick penciled in here, but he was drafted before me. I think if Minkah is not there, the 49ers are going to go offense, and they're going to take the top wide receiver in the draft. They're going to take Calvin Ridley out of Alabama. With the number 9 pick in the draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Calvin Ridley out of Alabama.
You already said it. Guy's guaranteed $74 million. Only has 10 starts under his belt at the NFL level.
But what's them records? What is his record in them 10 starts?
He undefeated.
Yes.
He undefeated, but you got to give him the weapons. You got to give him the tools. And let's be clear, with a guy like Jimmy G, he seems to carry himself very well. He was under the tutelage of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in New England. It's hard to go wrong when it comes to those guys.
Right. And
he seems to have a good demeanor about himself, too. I like the way he handles himself. You got to give the guy weapons. But we all saw with Colin Kaepernick what he did when he first took the reins of that 49ers job. Once teams saw a little bit more game film on him, he got exposed.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part because they invest a lot of money in him. So, but how to get around that? Get him a good offensive lineman and get him some weapons, man. And Calvin Ridley, not the biggest wide receiver, he's 6'1", 190, but he's got some flash to him, man, and he really showed what he can do at Alabama. And I just think it's just perfect. Put him in there, and I think he can be a number 1 wide receiver. I think he can be a Odell Beckham type of wide receiver, Santana Moss.
Watch it now.
Hey, man. Santana Moss, I think he can be, he's a small guy. He's not 6'4", 220. He's not Randy Moss, but he's got some things, so I think he's going to work well up in the Bay Area. Yeah. So the number 10 pick.
Whew.
This is getting good, but wait, who's picking? Raider Nation.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yes. Whew.
This is Toby. This is Toby Hixx picking his favorite team, Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, man, this is a tough one here. Huh. Well, let me tell you what. I'm gonna shock the world again. Even though
some good picks, Raiders, some good picks.
Nah, I'm gonna shock the world because we're gonna make a move here down the line. The Oakland Raiders, even though we don't need it, select a quarterback.
What?
You never know. You never know.
Go ahead.
The Raiders select Baker Mayfield.
Oh shit! You got to explain that one, man. You got to explain that one.
That's gonna be one of the trades. We selecting Baker Mayfield for someone else.
Oh, that's okay.
That's what we're gonna do here.
Okay.
Because somebody else wants him and they're gonna pay heavily for him.
Oh, so you thinking chess?
He don't even put his cap on. Don't even put the cap on.
See, and let's remind the audience here, us three, we're not projecting trades in this mock. We're just assuming that they all stand pat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a nice little spin you put on a potential trade right there because there are so many quarterback needy teams in this draft.
Yes.
You could draft a quarterback like the Chargers drafted Eli Manning in 2004 to use his bargaining
We're going
leverage
with the
knowing the
best
Giants
player.
wanted him. And what did they get? Bam.
I'm using the best player available theory. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. All right. So number 11 pick is the Miami Dolphins. That's you, Joey.
All right, the Miami Dolphins. One thing that the Miami Dolphins have shown us this offseason, simply put, is they're clean in house.
Yes.
They did not pick up Ndamukong Suh's player option. They let him walk. Mike Pouncey asked for his release, and he, as a result, they granted it to him. He went over to the Los Angeles Chargers. God, that feels weird to say. Yeah. And go figure, they traded the elite running back, Jay Ajayi, to the Super Bowl champion
Thank you
Eagles.
for that. Yeah, thank you for that.
Our friend in stand-up comedy, Tim McTire, by the way, his son is currently on the Miami Dolphins tour, so want to make note of that.
That's cool.
Shout out to Tim.
Hey, I hope you're doing well, Tim. And they are celebrating down in Miami when they have this guy fall into their lap, Josh Rosen from the University of California in Los Angeles.
Now I'm hearing that Adam Gates is in love with Josh Rosen.
He's a quarterbacks guy.
Yeah, I'm hearing he's in love with Josh, so he will be doing somersaults if he can get Josh Rosen.
Oh, yeah, because keep in mind,
That's the perfect place for him, Miami, boy.
I don't know, but he's, as you said, Jamal, the most polished passer in this draft class right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is some questions and concerns about his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he was the man at the college level. He tries to pull that in an NFL locker room. They'll put him in check real quick. They'll shape him up. Any locker room that he goes into, and Adam Gase is clearly trying to build a more positive culture. He reduced Jay Cutler's interceptions down to 11 in 2015 when he was the offense coordinator of the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good Adam Gase is with quarterbacks. You said it best, Jamal. He'd be doing somersaults and cartwheels if this guy falls to him.
All right, cool. Now we at the number 12 pick is the Buffalo Bills. We all know the Bills. Buffalo wants a quarterback. We all know that. And I think the Raiders do. So the Raiders may be the one who give up heavily for Baker Mayfield. But for the sake of this draft, since we're not doing any trades, we know Buffalo wants a quarterback. So I'm going to have them take Mason Rudolph out of Oklahoma State. They may do a trade to get that Baker Mayfield because I think they wanted Baker Mayfield. And they do have extra picks in the draft. But right now, we're just for the sake of this, we're going to have them take Mason Rudolph out of Oklahoma State, 6'5". That's a height, man. That's the 6'5". I'm not really familiar with him. I know Oklahoma State scores a lot of points. I know that, but
dynamic. Yeah, they had a hell of an offense.
Yeah, but so I have Buffalo taking them right now, and Buffalo still got some. I think they got a couple picks, so they're not finished yet. But a lot of people like Mason Rudolph say he's more pro ready than it seems. So we'll check it out, man. And we got him at number 12 pick, man.
And then coming into the NFL at age 22, which is considered old for guys who come out of college. Spend some time, learn the ropes a little bit more. And you already mentioned it. Buffalo has multiple picks. I want to say they have, I think 5 in the top 65 or something. 2 first rounders. That's definitely one team. So all the GMs and all that experts are looking at saying they're going to leapfrog into that top 10.
They're going to be moving and grooving.
But I like the Mason Rudolph pick for them, though.
All right, number 13 pick, Washington Redskins are on the clock.
The Redskins need offensive help for, since they, got a new quarterback, they need offensive help. So, shit. And especially like the way Gronk is playing, those big body cats.
Who did the Skins pick up for his quarterback?
Alex Smith.
They got Alex Smith.
They traded for him.
Yeah, so with the 13th pick, the Washington Redskins, we're going to select Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State.
Oh, you took
6'5", 256-pound tight end.
Yeah. I've been hearing about him because I know the Eagles were looking at him.
He's the next Gronk.
Yeah, big boy. Well, he from South Dakota State. He a big boy.
And he could take that cold, and there ain't nothing playing out there for him.
All right.
And when it comes down to it, you look at the importance of big body tight ends. Alex Smith is a guy, I don't think his style of play will ever win a championship, but as a risk-averse quarterback, having a big body tight end like he had with Travis Kelce in Kansas City and Vernon Davis in San Francisco, that is a dream right there for Alex Smith. And if you guaranteed him $71 million on his new contract, you better build around that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the pick right there, Toby.
Yeah. All right.
Man, I'm loving this draft.
Yeah, so far so good, man. Number 14 pick, Green Bay Packers are up on the clock.
Ooh, boy. Well, the Green Bay Packers were dealt a blow last season with the injury to Aaron Rodgers, who, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did the smart thing this offseason, giving him another weapon, Jimmy Graham, tight end, who they were able to sign as a free agent from the Seahawks. But they need help defensively. They really need some help. And there's this cornerback. There are questions about his character from an incident stemming from his first college. But I am going from the University of Central Florida, home of the Knights, Mike Hughes at cornerback for the Green Bay Packers.
What is the name again?
Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes. I'm not familiar with him. Okay.
Oh, he's bad. The talent. He's a bad dude. And how much character?
Central Florida, he was a baller down there.
How bad? How much
Scott
of an
Frost
impact?
coach.
How much of an impact? His off the field incident stemming from his freshman year at the University of North Carolina at a frat house. Will it still have an impact? Is yet to be seen, and we'll find that out on April 26th. But at number 14, best player available, and he addresses one of their biggest needs, Mike Hughes from the UCF Knights. Yeah,
the Green Bay it's interesting what they're going to. They haven't drafted well recently. It's just interesting where that franchise is going because Aaron Rodgers is in the prime of his career. I'm hearing that he's not really happy with the direction the team is going.
So I've heard that too, and especially the release of Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
If Calvin Ridley's still on the board, that's who they're taking.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, you know who agrees with you, Joey? Charles Casserly. He has him going. He has Mike Hughes going to Green Bay at 14. So you have somebody who agrees with you. All right. On the clock, pick number 15 is the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so Arizona, they signed Sam Bradford as their quarterback, so they're going to need a lot of protection. Sam is a serviceable quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback, but I think he's better
on the field. That motherfucker's horrible.
But he's better than Carson Palmer. So
and he's getting $20 million for this one season at that. On top of it all,
he has stole so much money. So it's interesting on what they're going to do. They can go in so many different directions. I actually had them looking at Lamar Jackson, but Lamar was stolen earlier. I like a lot. I like this offensive tackle from Notre Dame, Mike McGlinchey. I like him. But what I'm going to do is, with the 15th pick in the draft, the Arizona Cardinals, I'm going defense. We're going to go with cornerback. So 2 cornerbacks going right back to back with Josh Jackson out of Iowa.
Okay.
6'1", 192. I think he can come down there and lock down one of their spots. So we're going to have Arizona Cardinals select Josh Jackson out of Iowa.
I mean, a very good size, a real physical cornerback. that should translate into the pro game right there. Arizona was dealt a blow this offseason by cutting Tyrann Mathieu. He ended up signing elsewhere with the Houston Texans. You've got to give Patrick Peterson some help on the other side, and that's an excellent pick right there in Josh Jackson.
All right, the number 16 pick. I think this is Ozzie Newsome's final draft. It's his final draft.
He's retiring.
The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock.
Yeah, man, his final draft. Joe Flacco's looked like shit the last few years. You got a lot of money invested in him. You can't give up on him right now. So the best thing to do is try to get him some help. So the Baltimore Ravens select Calvin Ridley.
I already took Calvin Ridley, man. Stop smoking the weed.
Oh, wow.
You want him to get a wide receiver?
Hold on. No. Hold on. Yeah. I'm tripping. I'm like, damn, I was wondering why he was lasting so long. That must have been the only one I missed.
It's hard to keep track because let's just say we skip somebody I think will go in the top 10 on draft day. Yeah. And I totally forgot. Should have gone to one of the teams I have.
Okay, well, like I said, you still got to get Flacco some help. So, shit.
Michael Crabtree's not enough? Signed him.
What is that quarterback? They took a wide receiver number 1 a few years ago, but he's been a bust so far. Let me find out who he.
Well, I do know that rumor has it they're the front runner to sign Dez Bryant as well, due to his recent release from Dallas. Rumor has it they're the front runner to sign him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They got to get some help there. I was gonna go offense there.
It's another wide receiver.
The other kid, Cortland Sutton.
You like him?
Yeah. SMU. That's what I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say SMU.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, he's
big target, big body guy too.
And I watched him. I'm a Temple fan, so he's in our conference. He's an American, and he's a big dude. I like him.
And a good deep ball threat on top of it all. Joe Flacco, we can say what we want about his game, but the guy has a good arm. Yes, he has a strong arm. Sutton's the kind of guy who might be the perfect fit. Reminiscent, Jacoby Jones against the Denver Broncos, that Hail Mary? Mm-hmm. Could be.
2015, they took Brashard Perriman. He's been a bust.
That's right.
Remember him out of Central Florida?
That's right.
He's been a bust. Last year, 2016, they took Ronnie Stanley. He's been
solid Notre Dame guy.
And last year they took Marlon Humphrey. So he's out of Alabama. He's I think he had a serviceable. Okay, number 16, Ravens take Cortland Sutton, the wide receiver out of SMU. On the clock with the 17th pick, the San Diego Chargers. I'm sorry. The Los Angeles Chargers. I did.
It's all right. We all tripping tonight.
They go back to San Diego. What is wrong with y'all, man? The Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock.
That city deserves better, by the way. San Diego's a wonderful place.
Yes, they do. Beautiful city.
Los Angeles Chargers. They have not had a dynamic ball hawk at safety since Eric Weddle. Something that was noticeably something they were lacking last year. Derwin James, safety from Florida State University, number 17 to the Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm surprised he actually dropped this low.
And I'm surprised, let's see, that I have 2 scouts agreeing with me. It looks like Charlie Castro is one of them. There are 2 scouts who believe.
2 scouts who believe in you. Daniel Jeremiah.
Unbelievable. Wow. You know what? That really is saying something right there, though, about the needs, though, that teams do have in this draft that – even though a guy may be rated a top 5, top 10 talent, they could slip to a number 17 in this case, like Derwin James, just because they don't fit the needs of those teams ahead of the Chargers here.
Yeah, and the Chargers have 2 good bookends. They have the bookend defensive end. So just, and Derwin, from what I understand, he can play linebacker and safety. He can kind of play that hybrid. All right, so the number 18 pick is the Seattle Seahawks. They are on the clock. I have this pick. Seattle is they're kind of in a state of not rebuilding, but they got rid of Richard Sherman, a couple defensive players. We don't know what's going on with Earl Thomas or Cam Chancellor. We're not sure what's going on with that. So it's all on Russell Wilson and that offense. But I do think Pete Carroll, he loves his defense. And I'm gonna with the 17th pick with the 18th pick in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going small college. I'm going Marcus Davenport out of Texas San Antonio, defensive end, 6'5", 264. Damn. This is the type of player that Pete Carroll loves, man. He loves these type of players, man, and he builds these players up. This guy, he didn't play big college football, but man, they said he came to the Senior Bowl and they said he put it down, and a lot of people like him. 6'7", 256, Marcus Davenport.
And keep in mind, you look at a guy for Toby's Raiders, Khalil Mack. He came from a small school in Buffalo State.
Yeah, Buffalo, yeah.
Arguably should have gone number 1 in that 2014 draft. Your Raiders had the luxury of him falling to number 5. This guy, Marcus Davenport, is believed to be very high on the draft board of John Lynch and the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
If he falls in the lap of the rival Seattle Seahawks, with Pete Carroll knowing how high they are on this guy, he's just going to send him a letter saying, "Thank you."
I know the Detroit Lions love him too, and I know they would like for him to drop to them, but we're going to snatch him up a couple picks ahead of them. So maybe the Lions will pull up. All right, with the number 19 pick in the draft, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
Oh, yeah. Dallas, well, they just lost Dez Bryant. Hopefully they'll have a healthy Zeke Elliott, and he won't get suspended. He'll be there all year, so they don't have to worry about the running game. And what Dez wasn't doing, he wasn't getting any separation from the defense. His speed is way down, and they need to replace that. So I keep saying I'm going to shock the world. I watched this young man play about 4 times, and he impressed me every single time. With the 19th pick in the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Anthony Miller out of Memphis State.
Oh, wow.
So we going small school again right there.
Wow.
What stood out when you watched him play?
I mean, his speed, and he was just so tough. I seen him out there. I mean, he caught everything that was in the vicinity of him, and he was making big game plays. I mean, he carried his team through one game, even into overtime, like it was basketball. Like one person could carry a basketball game. He did that from the receiver position.
I can tell you, I'm not really familiar with him, but I'm actually looking him up now, and they do have him in the Dallas Cowboys draft profile. So a couple people, I'm not really familiar with him. Temple plays Memphis, but I wasn't really familiar with him. Fast guy, 5'11", 190, not really that big, but must be fast. Okay, cool.
Hey, you know what? Odell Beckham Jr.'s 5'11".
Oh, yeah.
The game, people often think of a number 1 wide receiver. Oh, they got to be 6'3" or taller. Megatron, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss, to name a few. And were they number 1s? Of course they were. Excuse me there. But the game has transcended so much to a speed factor on offense. You look at Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., and Antonio Brown. Those guys are not the most physically imposing dudes, but they'll take the hits, and if you get them in the open field, you ain't getting them.
Yeah,
simple as that. You're not getting them.
All right, cool. Okay, moving along. The number on the board at the number 20 pick, the Detroit Lions are on the clock.
All right, so this is where, if this guy somehow does fall, this is the one I forgot to give to Green Bay at 14, and as a result, their rival, the Detroit Lions, will reap the benefits. Cornerback from The Ohio State University, Denzel Ward.
Yeah, man. If he drops that low, Detroit will be partying in the streets. Once again, one of them cornerbacks from Ohio State.
And if you watch the game film on this guy, his instincts, his ball skills are just next to none from what I have seen at the college level since Patrick Peterson going in 2011. This guy, his ability to intercept the pass and then still get his feet set and just have that burst to take off right before the receiver is even thinking, wait, what just happened? This dude is special. May not be the most physically imposing guy, but he plays bigger than his 5'11", 5'10", 190-pound frame. If he falls down to number 20, that is the steal of the draft
That's the steal of the draft right there. All right, cool. Number 21 pick up on the clock are the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals can go in a bunch of different directions. They traded for Cordy Glenn out of Buffalo, so they needed offensive line help real bad. They should have never got rid of Andrew Whitworth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them go offensive line again, and I'm going to have them go to another small college out of UTEP. They're going to select the Cincinnati Bengals with the 21st pick in the draft. Select Will Hernandez, guard out of Texas, El Paso.
That's a money pick right there, and that's actually who I had the Bengals taking in mind. And most experts have him going there too. No, that's a bad dude right there. He's considered undersized, but he plays so much bigger than he is. The most impressive thing about him, sometimes he goes uncovered. You know how they won't have a lineman come at him? Mm-hmm. So he'll assist his lineman. Look at the highlights of his knockdowns. The dude is an animal. Excellent pick right there for the Bengals.
And the Bengals will love him. They love him. All right.
They get, because, man, I don't even know how Marvin keep his job.
Man, Marvin.
Last thing I want is a black man to get fired, but damn.
Yeah, talking about white privilege. That's black privilege. He has pictures of the owner doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's Marvin Lewis. And then I think at the end of the year, they talking about Marvin going to make the decision whether he come back or not. I said, what? Woo. Man, he has it good. All right. The number 22 pick on the right up on the clock is the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo, they need help on defense.
Now, they selected a quarterback earlier.
Yeah. And they need help on defense now. And one of the players I'm familiar with out here in Pac-10, the Buffalo Bills will select with the number 22 pick Vita V out of Washington.
Oh, yeah. The defensive tackle,
University of Washington.
That's a big dude, but boy, does he move well for his size.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, a lot of people like him. Some mock drafts have him going earlier. They have him going to maybe Redskins, and so that's a good pick. Some mock drafts have him going to Miami with the number 11 pick. So if Buffalo can get him at number 22, they will be ecstatic.
Yeah, because he's definitely a fit, for the other two teams you mentioned, that being the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. They did sign Star Lotulelei from the Carolina Panthers this offseason. That's one of Brandon Beane's guys from his days in Carolina. But Star Lotulelei clearly has not amounted to what the Panthers had hoped as a top 10 pick out of the University of Utah. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing the NFL has taught us, we all know it's a violent game. We all know injuries, concussions, amongst others, are part of the game. Mm-hmm. You can never have too much depth at one position.
That is true.
Because these defensive linemen, they're not on the field for every single down.
No, yeah.
There are rotations.
They're rotation, yeah.
Vita V at 23 or 22. Oh, damn it. That just 22. Sounded so much cooler.
Yeah, Vita V at 23.
But Vita V at 22. Ooh. Nice pick, Coach. Or Mr. Hixx.
All right. On the clock with the 23rd pick, the New England, the enemy. Boo. The New England Patriots are on the clock at 23rd pick.
Oh boy, the New England Patriots. A lot of internal drama surfaced to the media this year about the New England Patriots. Something we had never heard of between the big three of Kraft, Belichick, and Brady.
Yes, that is true.
One thing I want to be clear of, though I am not a New England Patriots fan, they're good at what they do.
Yes, they are.
Simply put, they are good at what they do. As long as Belichick is there on the sidelines running the show, I trust in them. Mm-hmm. There's talk they're trading up to get a quarterback. I'm not buying it.
Right.
They lost their left tackle, Nate Solder, to the New York Giants.
Yes, they did.
So they are going to fill that hole with Mike McClinchy, left tackle from the University of Notre Dame.
Oh, I like that. I was looking at him seriously for the Bengals. He actually started off early this year as a top offensive lineman rated draft. He kind of fell a little bit, but I remember at the beginning of mock drafts at the beginning of the year, people had him going top 5, top 10.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of that does have to do with because of the value of offensive tackles being rated so much higher than guards. That is something that they would say, okay, well, because he fills a need, he'll be taken of. And when I think of a guy who was picked way far ahead of what he was actually worth, 2007, offensive tackle out of Penn State University, the 5th overall pick to the Cardinals was Levi Brown.
I remember him.
But at the time, the Cardinals had just selected Matt Leinart the year before. So, of course, what did they want to do? They wanted to protect the guy who they thought was their future right there. So, McGlinchey, other teams lost, will be the Patriots gain. Haven't we heard that one before?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
All right, on the clock with the 24th pick is the Carolina Panthers. They can go all over the place too. I really believe they want a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver bad. They got rid of Calvin Benjamin, but all the good wide receivers, I think that what they want to take in the first round are gone. They was hoping Cortland Sutton dropped to them. They knew Calvin Ridley wasn't going to drop to them, but I think they was hoping that Cortland dropped to them, but he didn't. So I'm going to have them go. They need safety help. They need backfield help. I'm going to have them take Ronnie Harrison. With the 24th pick, the Carolina Panthers select Ronnie Harrison out of the University of Alabama safety. 6'3", 240. He's a 214. He's a thumper.
Do any of you get tired of hearing about the Tide players going in the first round? Because, do we not hear it enough in the first place?
For years.
Well,
Nick Saban has a machine down there, man.
I'm not going to say who. I do have another safety still available. I have rated higher than him, but Ronnie Harrison, the guy can play. He's got the size. I want to say 6'2", 225, close to that. He's still got to work on his coverage skills a little bit, but that's something, with a good work ethic and good conditioning, that can be improved upon.
All right, with the number 25th pick in the draft, we're moving right along. Only a couple more. 25th pick in the draft, we're going to go to Tennessee. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
Tennessee Titans, they need some defensive help.
They did make the playoffs this year. They surprised me.
And so with that being said, and they could use some more defensive help. They made the playoffs. They didn't have a great showing. They could use ticket sales aren't the greatest there in Tennessee. I mean, people are more into music, I guess.
That's right.
So
tough market to compete with. That country market down south.
Yeah, so they could use some help not only on defense, but they could use some help with ticket sales. So with what's his 25th pick? Yeah,
25th pick.
25th pick. The Tennessee Titans select Shaquem Griffin from University of Central Florida.
Oh,
another night off the board in the first round.
We was going to talk about him. I didn't actually think he was going to go in the first round. I wanted to actually talk about him.
They need people to come to the stadium, and he's going to bring them out no matter what city he's in. People are going to want to see the man with one arm.
What's your take on him, Joey?
It'd be a phenomenal story to see him pan out as a first-round pick. He's been obviously faced more adversity than anybody in this draft class. My take is I don't see it happening.
You just can't believe it.
I just don't think it will happen. But they are a team who does have needs defensively. The guy bench pressed 225, 20 plus with his one arm at the combine. And of course he had a spotter there. That was all on him though. It was all on himself. I'm rooting for the guy.
He's going to, but you do believe he's going to get drafted.
Oh, absolutely. He's getting drafted. I just don't see it in the first round.
Yeah.
Don't see it in the first round. That would be a phenomenal story.
I mean, do you, I guess one hand, I mean, he's played with one hand. He must know how to, hey, man, you know.
I mean, I watched Central Florida games, too, because I knew that the coach, Scott Frost, would be going to Nebraska to coach my college team. So I watched the games, and that kid was remarkable out there, one arm or not. He's going to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
And I really hope he proves me wrong. If he ever listens to this, I hope he does. I really hope he calls me out on it someday, and I would be more than happy to admit I was wrong, and thank you for proving me in doing so.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only one who but I don't think he's going first round either, but he's definitely going to get drafted. He's proven himself all over. He's played, high level college football, and he's proven that the one arm doesn't really stop him from, he can listen with that little. He can still trip you up.
Yeah,
he can trip you with that little nub. He can trip you up.
Yes, he can.
With that little nub.
Hey, man, listen.
Oh, yes, he can.
He grab you with one hand.
He's strong, man.
All right, with the number 26 pick in the draft, the Atlanta Falcons are on the clock.
I know a lot of the scouts have him falling to them in number 26. I believe he will go before then, but if he falls to them in A-Town, Taven Bryan from the University of Florida, keeping him down south. You watch the game film on this guy. He just has a motor. The guy does not quit. There are some defensive linemen when they get hit, when they get beat by the offensive lineman, they just quit on the play right then and there. This guy, Taven Bryan, he just keeps on going, and he's got the size and the speed, and with the Falcons having lost Dontari Poe in free agency, Taven Bryan is an excellent replacement right there.
Well, a lot of scouts, Bucky Brooks, Charlie Casserly, Daniel Jeremiah, they all agree with you. They have him going down there. Atlanta took another defensive player. I can forget his name last year with the first pick, and he did real well. So they're trying to build that defense up down there, man. Trying to make it back to the Super Bowl.
You know, they've got Desmond Trufant at cornerback. They've got I can't remember his name, but I know it's a big safety. Not Elam. Man, it's going to drive me nuts. But then you've got Vic Beasley Jr. That's a bad dude right there out of Clemson. That's a real bad dude, and he's a terrific athlete. He doesn't just get the quarterback. He can drop into coverage and pick off some balls. You get another guy to rush the passer here, alleviate some of the pressure of the back seven right there. That Falcons defense, we might see them back in the Super Bowl. That they never should have lost.
Yeah,
they never should have lost that Super Bowl.
All right, with the number 27 pick in the draft, the New Orleans Saints are on the clock. And listen, New Orleans defense actually was a lot better last year. The Lattimore kid came in and did well. I was looking to get them the tight end from South Dakota State, but he went earlier. I thought Drew Brees, that'd be a great target for him, kind of get him back to the tight end they used to have. They traded to Seattle. Since he's gone, I was looking at Penn State, Mike Gesicki out of Penn State, but I think they can maybe get him in the second round if they trade up. So with the number 27 pick, I'm going to stay with the defense, and we're going to stay with Alabama again, and we're going to take Rashaan Evans, linebacker. What's that damn over there? He's 6'2", 232 out of Alabama.
And he's fast. His versatility is off the charts with what he can do.
You can never have enough linebackers. What's the damn? Did you?
I was
looking to take him.
That was who. He was next in line.
Looking to take him.
And obviously, they need a replacement for Ryan Shazier, who suffered that devastating injury last season.
They
need a replacement for him this coming season and beyond. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he said he want to play again, but man, I don't know.
They not letting him on the field.
Fingers crossed that'd be another great story too if he would have come back. Be another great story, but I'm guessing that you were hoping the Steelers were going to take Rashaan Evans, and if you were in their shoes, that is.
Yeah.
All right, with the number 28 pick in the draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. I think I stole Toby pick.
Just like he stole Saquon from the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Pittsburgh. I was looking at Rashaan Evans, but they need some more defensive help. And if you need defensive help, you always want to look to Alabama or Ohio State.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh Steelers select Sam Hubbard from Ohio State.
Sam Hubbard, defensive end from Ohio State. Yeah.
Terrific athlete, too.
Yes.
Is he the one? Now, doesn't he have a background in high school lacrosse, too?
That is him, I think.
I want to say.
Yeah.
That guy can move.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. His moves at the line. You ain't that mad about losing Rashaan Evans when you can take him. That's an excellent one right there.
All right, with the 29th pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
All right, well, I'm sure they'd all be slapping hands with one another when this guy falls to them. Cornerback from Louisville, Jair Alexander.
Wow. Now, they already have one of the best cornerback tandems in the league, so you see him as maybe the third one?
No, they lost Aaron Colvin in free agency, but they still have Jalen Ramsey, of course, the stud out of Florida State University.
Ramsey is the best cornerback in the league.
Agreed. And Jalen's also someone, he has the versatility to play safety if you need him to. They lost Jair Alexander. There's another guy, I'm not going to say in case you guys think about picking him, a linebacker who could be the replacement of Paul Posluszny because he announced his retirement from the NFL this offseason. So linebacker has become a more pressing need. But they lost the top cornerback, number 1 defense in the NFL last year. They bring in Jair Alexander, pick up right where they left off.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's with the 30th pick in the draft, the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock.
Well, Minnesota, we got the new quarterback in. They got to get some help for him.
Who did they take? They got Cousins?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
they paid him all that money.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get some help for him. They could use some help on the line. So with the 30th pick for the Minnesota Vikings, we select Braden Smith, guard out of Auburn.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Braden Smith, you're jumping a few few linemen that are higher rated than him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they like
Why
him.
Braden Smith?
I think he's played against the best competition down there in the SEC. He's a big, strong guy, fast guy, and he's been durable.
All right, man. Okay, well, let's keep it moving. Just 2 more picks left. With the 31st pick, the New England Patriots are back on the clock.
So this is their original pick. One thing I forgot to mention is their 23rd pick was what they acquired from the Rams in the Brandon Cooks trade.
Exactly, yeah.
If this guy's available, they're rushing to hand their card to Roger Goodell to announce running back at LSU, Darius Geis. That Geis is nice. And in New England, he'll be nice on the football field, but he won't be off it because we all know how they roll down there.
All right. So we at the final pick in the draft, man. Is the final pick are the Super Bowl champions. Final pick in the first round. The Dope Dealer Podcast first ever NFL mock draft. With the 32nd pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. So the Eagles can go in a lot of different ways, but I think it's time for us to get Jason Peters back up or replacement.
The heir apparent.
To Jason Peters.
Success, that's what it is.
It's some great offensive tackles still on the board. So who is the best? I'm going to go with a guy who did not have a great combine. Actually, he had a horrible combine and he dropped. But then in his pro day, he did real well. And I really like him. I think he can be our left tackle for the next 10 years. He didn't drop that far. He didn't drop out of the first round. They had him like top 15 earlier. We're going to go out of the University of Oklahoma with the 3rd pick in the draft. The Super Bowl champion select Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown from Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Okay.
The son of Orlando Brown Jr., the son of Orlando Brown Sr., his pop.
Play for the Cowboys? Or who?
His pop used to play for the Ravens. His pop is the one, remember the referee hit the dude in the eye with the flag?
I do remember.
And fucked up his
That's
eye?
right.
That's his father. Yeah. His father passed away a few years ago. He passed away,
Damn.
I think, with health issues. But yeah, remember his father, and then his father pushed the referee.
Yeah, well, it had to be health issues. He wasn't 90, I think, healthy. Well, no, it didn't have to be.
Well,
There are some, and I mean, look, guys, all I can say is these teams are going to be having a field day in round 2 with how much talent there is in this draft.
It's a lot of talent still left in round 2, man. Unfortunately, Eagles don't have our next pick is not to the 4th round, but the Browns, like you said, the Bills, I think, have a lot of picks.
Yeah, well, you're the champ, so life could be worse, right?
Yeah, you don't need no picks. You guys shouldn't get any shit.
Hey, man, we appreciate you guys. First thing, Joey, thanks for coming, man, and lending your expertise, man. One time for Joey.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Thanks for having me.
And we may bring you back after the draft just to talk about what happened, man.
I would love to because I really believe there are going to be a plethora of first-round trades in this draft. I believe they're going to break the 2012 record. And one, there's the whole RG3 trade, with the Rams. That draft, your team drafted up to get Fletcher Cox, your stud defensive tackle right there. And look what that has meant
that was a great,
to that team right there. Yeah. There are some guys who may revolutionize a franchise with their presence alone in this draft.
Well, we hope so, man.
That is true.
We hope so, man. We appreciate you, man. Where can they find you at, man? Where you at? Anybody want to get in touch with you?
Right now, no comedy shows lined up, but if you want to reach out to me, Joey Eberlein on Facebook. Last name is German, so it's spelled Eberlein. On Instagram, my handle is Jostradamus. Yeah. Just like it's spelled with an underscore at the end of it. Okay. I'm gonna be out and about. I'm pitching a script right now about it's an inspirational comedy based on the life of a friend of mine from my days at Fullerton Community College as a broadcaster. Got some ex-NFL players in the script and some ex-NFL coaches who will be on board too.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And look, just like Jamal was saying, he follows me. Everybody, I take selfies with so many black athletes. I give the Kardashians a run for their money.
Hilarious, man. Well, we appreciate you, man, coming on. And listen, if you want to hit us up, we got a number to call, man. What's that number, Toby?
818-916-1818.
Yeah, please. You please hit us up, man. And listen, you can bring us to your city. Please book us. We're looking for sponsors. I'm at Jamal Doman.
At Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
Yeah, at Jamal Doman, JAMALDOMAN. We also have an Instagram page, Dope Dealer Podcast. Dope Dealer Podcast, just how it sounds. Dope Dealer Podcast. So please hit us up on Instagram, man. Shout out to Comedy Pop-Up, man. And listen, we'll be back next week, man. God bless you. God bless everybody, man.
Yeah.
Any place you're here? You're anywhere in a couple weeks, or we at?
I can't keep up with you two. I want to be clear about that. Y'all are always on the go.
Okay, coming up May 10th through 12th, be at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, Utah with the homie Felipe Esparza. That's coming up in May.
If you're listening to this, please rate us and review us. Please rate us and review us. Like I said, if you want to book us, we do all type of parties, all type of events. We are comedians with a lot of credit, so please hit us up, man, if you want to book us at dopedealerpodcast.com, man. We'll see you next week, man. Love you.
Peace, dope dealers.
Peace.
Dope dealers.
Down, Hey, I'm not a slave or a prisoner. I just get paid for the vision, but they wanna pay me in chains and a whip because material things we've been victims of. I try to tell you the truth. They want me silent, inside it's so difficult. Reside where I'm the original. Can't fuck with no vibe that's traditional. How can you hide behind